If you wonder how political parties work, this is a video I promised about money and how it works in politics. Because if researching political party structure didn't answer my question of who's in charge of a political party, then finding out who controls a purse string should answer that question. But first, we have to ask, where those parties get all their cash? And yeah, a lot of it comes from you. In fact, in 2024, individual people like you contributed over $700 million to political parties. Money that most of you regret spending when your candidate lost. Another $120 million was spent on political parties by organizations like political action committees, but by far, their biggest individual contributors to the party system are the individual taxpayers. But regardless of party affiliation or contributor status, there are limits and laws about how much an individual and organizations can contribute to their chosen political ideology. While this all seems pretty straightforward, neat and tidy, now I have to go fuck it all up by talking about dark money. And another word for dark money is dirty money, and it's considered dark and dirty money because nobody is admitting they know where the money comes from, not even your candidate. Now, for context, in 2006, and that's a mere 20 years back, give or take a year, there was only about $5 million spent in dark money. In last year's election, there was $1.9 billion spent in dark money, $664 million by the Republicans, but damn, that was nothing compared to the $1.2 billion raised in dark money by the Democrats. Money that didn't even help them win. So there is that. But it ain't about winning or losing an election when it comes to dark, dirty money, because it's about fairness and integrity. Ask yourself, that is, if you're an intelligent sort, how can a population spend $700 million on political parties and then have a complete unknown drop twice that amount on your political party? Who do you think the party is going to listen to? You? And yeah, we all know money in politics is a problem politicians ain't ever going to fix, because our politicians are making a whole lot of money off those dark and dirty supporters, tossing all kinds of money their way. Now that we know how our political parties get their money, let's try to figure out who controls how that money is spent. According to Google, there's a simple answer, and it is a generic answer. The treasurer oversees the dispersion of funds as directed by the party committee and designated individuals. And I want to know who those designated individuals are. And since no one will ever say who those designated people are, I'm guessing the larger truth here is that those designated are those who hold leadership positions, or those who contribute a shitload of dark and dirty money, perhaps. And when it comes to committees, political parties got a lot of them, like finance committees. And finance committees are responsible for a lot of things, like fundraising, making sure all the laws are followed, and developing a strategy to meet a campaign's financial support. Now, if it all seems foreign and complex, you're right. And I'm guessing it's designed that way by the powers that be, for whatever devious reasons one can think of. Because when you think about all the money that we spend on getting people elected, it sure seems we're not getting our money's worth. Now, as quick and tidy as this video might be, the truth is, when it comes to money and politics, you and I are just fucked, and fucked in a way that's hard to understand, even by smart and intelligent people. Because the simple truth is, if you ask the question, who controls the money in politics, well, there's a lot of answers to choose from and to mull over. But I'm guessing a couple of dollars you contribute ain't gonna really morph into any kind of power or say within the party anytime soon. Leastways not for the common man. And that, my friends, ain't particularly a democracy. Is it? Money and politics. You know, however you want to talk about the subject of money and politics, it's just wrong. There's just too much of it, unaccounted for. Don't know where a lot of it comes from. And yeah, it's pretty much destroyed this nation. Or it certainly, maybe it hasn't destroyed it, but it certainly has. It's moved it away from a true democracy. It has. And you know what? If you want to know how money is spent in politics, yeah, there's a definition for it that everybody accepts. Well, okay, nobody accepts. And when I say definition, it's like I talked about it in the video. But the truth is, it's a lot more subtle, a lot more succinct, I think is a word. I can't pronounce it. But I think there are people controlling the strings, and those people don't want you to know who they are. Now maybe I'm just conspiracy minded. I excuse me. I don't know, but there's way too much money. And if personally, I believe that the only funds that should be made available to a politician, to a candidate, are individual funds. All this dark money, all corporate donations, all that bullshit should be gone. That's my 2 cents. The only money should be money from people like you and me. Seriously. But that's my 2 cents. And I just hate this. Citizens United destroyed this nation. I mean, it moved it over the edge, over the precipice, actually, over the cliff. Yeah, okay. I'm just trying to be smart with words. You know what I mean. And we're about ready to hit bottom, I think. We've been in free fall for the last 10, 15, 20 years. And I think we're about ready to hit the bottom. Somebody pushed us over that cliff, and it's just taken us a while to hit the bottom. But that impact is coming, my friends, and I'm just going to leave it here. Politics. Shot of tequila is the only thing that makes politics bearable.